here
After World War II?
after World War II, and they came from the Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
And the first ones, there was a man, his wife, and they had two boys. We had three different families, and then there was the third family that came. They had a girl that was about 16 and a boy that was about 14, and they would stay here one summer, and then they'd take off for the New York City.
Hmm.
That's where they would take off to go to New York City, and they had signed papers that they would stay here for so many months, and then they were free to go on.
You mean in this area or your house?
They
Yeah.
lived right in this old house before we remodeled it.
Oh, which house you talking about? Which house?
This house that we're living in,
Oh,
that front room
okay.
and what we
Before
tore
we
down.
came.
Before you lived here?
Before they lived before we moved this part of the house down here for a ton house.
Right.
Do you know
lived
who
right
they
here
were?
in this house.
What are their names?
At that time we did.
And
Do you have any paperwork on them?
Huh?
Do you know what their names were?
yeah, there was and I can't let's see. The girl's name was Aida, and the boy's name was Frederick. But it started with a K, and I don't know how it was spelled. But we went one time. We went to New York, and we had an address, and we went to see them. I didn't get to see.
Were they Jewish?
No, they were Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah, they were Catholic. They would go to Catholic church, and there was other people that had these from Ukraine, and they used to go into the Catholic church. There was several bunch of families around here, and they all worked on the farm for one summer.
Okay.
And then they took off and went to, I think it was probably in September. They took off and they went up there, and this girl was going to. The boy was going to school to be a engineer, and I think Aida was. I can't remember now what she said, but she was in school. I'd say they were smart people. You know, they weren't. They were
Educated.
They knew a lot. They caught on quick, and they would be good at whatever they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they
Very
said that
intelligent people.
Mhm.
first the mother and the father. First they were in a prison. They were German prisoners, and then they were Russian prisoners, or vice versa. One time they were in a Russian prison. One time they were in a German prison.
What for?
And a Russian prison.
Did they say what for?
Huh?
Did they say what for?
Well, when they occupied, see, the Russians and the Germans were fighting each other,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever the Germans was in control, they were in a German prison. Whenever the Russians were in control, they were in a Russian prison.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were in a Russian prison and also in a German prison.
When he gets done talking, I want to tell you something. I don't want them to have to wait too long for you.
Yeah, I know they're waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they could talk pretty good English.
Wow.
The kids could talk better English than see, they had been taking they had studied English in
I would love to
school.
know their last name and
It was
find them
it was
if you think of it.
I think I might come to me sometime.
Yeah, if it ever comes to you.
It was started with a K. Started with a K.
Okay. Well,